Good evening and welcome back to Let's Play Dreamfall chapters.
Umpus, Oxman, Oigard, Ozurus. No Ular anywhere. Shadow. Oops, sorry.
Well, anyhow, when we left off last time, we secured the assistance of the Resistance. They are going to try and help us find the purple
Show me what you're
mountains.
made of. Knowledge. Ah, the knowledge.
Anu is the first person here.
Anu's really weird and
Nexus.
very sweet, and I like her a lot.
Ular. Ula.
Now, you know, that's a good
Nothing.
point, right?
No.
Zoe tends to like people that have interesting sorts of personalities. If you're going to make a friend with someone,
Bugs,
Anu
please
seems
don't
like a
tell me now.
way better friend to make than Mira. Because even though they both have distinct and kind of strange personalities,
Abscesses.
Anu's is sweet
Nope,
and Mira's
that's a different
is
type of ab.
mean.
When I was 12, I was a lot like her. Awkward and...
The
strike that,
turtle
I'm still a lot like
mountains.
her.
Believed to be the petrified remnants of 3
She's
titan turtles
Zid,
that rose
I
from...
believe.
And
They're
interesting?
beautiful.
Sure, relevant?
For
No.
my next Halloween party, I'm going as Zid. Or is that racist?
Orlawal, Umpus, Oxman, Oigard,
My initial
Ozurus.
impulse is to say, well, no, of course not, because this is something that you're doing in admiration and appreciation. But then I feel like, I don't know, if you were to go for Halloween as like
Come on,
any of the
library.
human
Show me what
races,
you're
that's
made
not
of.
your own.
Knowledge. Ah, the knowledge.
I think you can't. I don't know. Is it the same if it's cross species as it is if it's race within a species?
Mountains, Ular, Ula.
It's an interesting
No,
sort of fantasy
nothing,
question.
no.
Anu's really weird and very sweet, and I like her a lot.
Bugs, please don't. tell
Okay,
me now.
talk to her or what? Like touch her shoulder?
I have to resist this intense desire to stroke her
On
yellow fur.
Yeah, don't do that.
abscesses.
I don't think that'd be
Nope.
kosher.
No,
That's a
that
different
would
type
be
of
a bad
ab.
idea. Don't.
I've been trying to find a
You can't
book
just
or
go
scroll
caress
or
people.
manuscript or map or torn note page or ancient magical tome or pamphlet or a piece of cloth that mentions the Purple Mountains or the Ular, but no luck. It's really frustrating. This library has never let me down before. Bad library.
All right. We should start with introductions.
She seems so curious about me, and I haven't asked her a single question. This is where I try to connect and make friends.
We will, but first I think introductions is a logical place to start.
There must be something here. She seems so curious about me, and I haven't asked... Enu, right? I don't feel we were properly introduced.
I know you are. Yes. You're right. Enu. I am Enu. I hope you're staying a while. It would be so great to have someone around who's not a surly warrior with mommy issues, or a stoic leader, or a battle-hardened soldier, or just batshit insane. I mean, there's Jakai. He's pretty normal, except for his aunt issues, but he's a bit too... Hey, so, what do you do when you're not saving the world?
Neural programming. I did. Then my world shut down, and now I just watch a lot of shows and eat. Sorry.
Didn't understand any of that, but it was still amazing. Tell me again?
Maybe next time?
I can't wait to talk more about all these things we have in common. We must have a sleepover.
Okay.
This is where I try to connect and make friends.
We should make a friend. She's very eager to be friends. Zoe could use friends. Why not?
You just joined the Resistance?
Oh, yes. No. Not really just. About half a year ago? Wait, more than that. Time flies when you're having fun. Well, fun.
Sometimes you need to make the best out of a bad situation.
Right. And it's my duty. We're doing good, important work here. Also, I didn't want to end up living the life my parents wanted for me.
I can identify with that.
This is so nice. I wish we were sisters. Can we be sisters? You don't have to answer that. Do you have any siblings?
I did. Sort of. Long story. You?
Oh, lots. Boyfriend! Do you have one of those?
Also a did.
We just broke up. In incredibly bad timing. It's been a difficult few months. I was asleep for a long time. I forgot a lot of the stuff that happened to me before I fell asleep. I tried my best to forget, but the memories caught up with me. On top of all that, I started flirting with my therapist, and now I don't even know if I should have trusted him or...
Nope.
Jesus. It's a long story. Very complicated. Maybe another time?
Yes, please?
I just have to make a quick note. Just being a parent myself, the life your parents would have liked for you isn't always such a terrible thing, right? Okay, obviously people need to be able to decide for themselves ultimately what they want to do with their lives. But if your parents maybe try to lead you in a certain direction and help out, it's not always with bad intentions. It's not that they see you as extensions of themselves or property or some such. Like, I think for a lot of parents it really is because we want to help our children and we're trying to do our best. You know, my thought as a parent is I would really like to help my children at the least to avoid making the same mistakes that I made in life. I don't know necessarily the best route for them to go. I can't anticipate everything and avoid them making any mistakes. Part of life is making mistakes, but I want at least the experience that I had to mean something and be able to be, you know, to be valuable in some way and that I can help my children, right? So I think she's mentioned a couple times, I knew, about how she didn't like the farm. She's very disparaging of her small town farm life, and I don't think there's anything wrong with a small town farm life. I think there can be a lot of really great things about that, especially if you can stop to consider like food and supply chains. Like, think about the festival in town going on here, the Reaping Festival. Without the farmers, the festival doesn't exist. It's a whole month-long festival about eating. If you don't have the farmers bringing in the food, what is there to eat, right? Farmers are vital for any situation, any civilization. Like, we need the foods they grow. It's very, very important. So it's not something to look down on. I don't think it's necessarily has to be seen as a restrictive, constricting, terrible life to lead, right? It's important. So
there must be something here.
I know. Bit of a tangent there. And I understand. She's young and she wants more, and it's okay if she wants something different out of life. But I think you just want to be careful if that's not the life that you want, that you don't want to put it down. You don't want to try to act like somehow like there's something terrible about farming or something, or some of the less exciting sorts of lifestyles that so many people choose. It's not a life of drudgery that people are stuck with. Like, there can be a lot of worth in those types of lives. It's okay to want something different, but don't insult those.
So, no luck?
Nothing. Sorry. And I've read most of these before. I can't remember coming across any of those words you mentioned. There's not much else to do here in the evenings except read. I don't really have any female friends. It gets lonely. Anyway, I've been through all the encyclopedias and travelogues, but...
Nothing about the Purple Mountains or the Ular?
Nothing. I mean, the Purple Mountains sounds colloquial. It may have a different name officially, but the Ular, there should be something about them. It's a magical race?
They didn't look human.
Weird, there's nothing about them. They must be very isolated, or
what?
Or someone's trying to hide something.
Oh, well, that could be.
Which would be weird and very hard to pull off. Forget I said that.
No, I'm going to seize on that. But also, that is rather impressive. If she's been here, how long has she been here? So, she came after April, but more than 6 months. So, not too terribly long in the scheme of things. And she says she's read all of these books in here. That's a lot of books to read. Even if you do have boring evenings to spend reading books, it's still a bunch of books.
I'm on a deadline. I should just cut this short.
Well, that's our only option, so...
I guess I'll have to look elsewhere.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I
No,
really
it's
thought
okay.
I'd find something. I feel terrible.
You helped.
Do you want to be my friend? I already asked you that. I'm coming on too strong, aren't I?
You
I am,
are.
I can tell. Stop it, Enu.
No, not at all. I'd love to be friends. And thank you for helping me.
Much good that did. I really wish I knew who else could...
For the love of the festering demon shrimps,
There he is.
Do I have to do everything in this place? I didn't spend all those years living on the streets of Mercuria, pilfering food and liberating fat purses to deal with this shite.
What's the
I
problem,
swear I'd
Bob?
be better off going back to sleeping in Abnaxis' stone tree. If I can't even get a mattress that isn't flea and maggot infested. Do your bleeding jobs, people. Is that too much to ask?
Sorry about that. Disregard him. Not important.
No, he's very important.
Must be something in this library.
So, first off, because I don't want to miss anything important, anything anybody says. She is coming on too strong, and I feel really bad for her about it, because I understand where she's feeling like she would really like to make a friend here. Yeah. I completely get that impulse, but she is if it's too much too fast, it kind of freaks people out, right? So she's really got to scale back. I think she'll be okay because Zoe's inclined to be friendly to her and a little bit forgiving about those kind of quirks anyhow. But some people you definitely will scare off if you come on so intensely like that. Like it's more than they're expecting. But I think she's also judging herself too harshly about this library, where she's all like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, it didn't work out." Like, but that's still valuable information to know. She looked in the library and we didn't find anything there. Okay, that I didn't waste time looking through the library. She's looking through it for me, so that's valuable. This is a place that it hasn't been useful to look, so I can move on and look somewhere else. So she is helping. But
I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep digging until I find something.
You can do that, but what I really need to do is go talk to Bob. However,
when I was 12, I was a lot like her.
All right, same.
Awkward and strike that.
Sorry,
I'm
I can
still a
help
lot
you.
like her.
I'll keep looking, but I think I've read every book in here at least 8 times already. Any luck?
She's a very
you should
good
talk
reader.
To the others. Someone may know something. Someone who's not me.
Don't be disappointed in yourself.
Take your time to explore. Everyone here is really friendly. Well, sort of. Friendly-ish.
Well, I expect it is more friendly now that Kian and Liko aren't here, because they were the least friendly ones that
Sorry
I've seen
I
so
can
far.
help you. I'll keep looking, but I think I've read every book in here at least 8 times already.
That guy looks familiar, but I'm not quite sure where I...
Do you remember?
Is that Blind Bob, the beggar? That guy looks familiar, but I'm
It
not
is. Let's go
quite
talk to
sure
him.
Where I... Blind Bob?
Eh? What? Who's asking? Well, blessed be me straight britches. You're the lass what brought me mulled wine back when I'd hit rock bottom in Marcuria. What in the name of the eight-eyed octo-god of Tartillus are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing, except for, not those words exactly.
Oh, I left me life of beggaring behind. Cleaned myself up. Joined the resistance. I'm a general now.
Well done, you.
I'm making a difference.
All right, so many things to talk about. Okay, the obvious
He
one.
was theoretically blind, but now he can see. It makes less and less sense the more I think about it. What happened to your theoretical blindness?
Cured! I was blind, theoretically, but now I can see. To be honest, some days I wonder if I ever was theoretically blind, or if it was all hypothemetaphysical.
Well,
You know, just in my head, like.
Oh,
It was simpler being blind Bob and resorting to beggaring and vagrancy than taking a long, hard look at myself in a speculum, particularly on account of the blindness. I wish me old pa could have lived to see me. He always believed in me, even when I didn't. To the bitter end, he told me I had potential. I nodded and wept and promised him I'd try my best. Then, as he drew his last ragged breath, I stole his purse and his breeches. Well, Pa, I'm sorry about the breeches. I'm making something of life now. Making something of myself. I'm no longer blind Bob. Call me Bob who can see.
how about just Bob? But okay, Bob who can see is fine too. Now then. So, we know he knows about something about Amnaxis, because he said. So let's ask around other stuff first. Tell us more about being a general.
are you an actual general?
Aye. See these stripes? General Bob, that's me. I takes care of the logic sticks round here, so the place don't crumble to pieces. Shepard's busy with the strategering. Kian sorts out who to murder and how. Liko makes a fine job of being contrary.
That's all he does?
And Enu keeps everyone's spirits up. I mean, when she's not shooting Azadi soldiers in their eyeballs with her bow and arrow.
Everyone's got their
Me,
role to play,
I
huh?
make sure the ladder's stocked, the sheets are clean, relatively speaking, and that the piss pots are empty. Can't go to war on a full bladder.
It is important stuff he's doing. You do need someone to maintain the place. Tell me
I
about...
just can't imagine how the blind Bob I met in Mercuria turned into this man. It's an impressive transformation. How did you end up with the rebels?
Not long after you and I met, I overdosed on mulled wine. Spooked me good, that did. I figured I had two choices. Either spend the remainder of my days in the gutter, stinking of foreign spices and currants, and, to be honest, there didn't seem to be a whole lot of days left. Or I could clean myself up, try to amount to something after a lifetime wasted on wine, women, and various gutters. The moment I looked up, I saw how the Azadi were running magicals out of Mercuria. I couldn't ignore it. It was disgraceful. I mean, magicals always treated me with kindness and respect. I felt I owed them. So, here I am, doing my part and paying my debts.
Good for you.
Aside from the gambling and the bar tabs, mind you.
Gonna just leave those debts unpaid,
I
eh?
feel 20 years younger to boot.
But that is good, right? He is making something out of himself. He's making a difference. Yeah.
It's a long shot,
Okay.
but...
I don't think he'll know about the Purple Mountains, so let's ask that.
Have you heard of the Purple Mountains?
Oh, aye. Aye, of course.
Really?
Everyone's heard of the Turtle Mountains.
No.
They're...
No, sorry, purple, not turtle.
That's what I said. Turtle. Right, of course. You don't know. Why would you?
What?
My apologies, lassie. See, I have a serious P deficiency. It's been a lifelong struggle.
Always something, huh?
The Turtle Mountains. Nope, never heard of them. Sorry.
Okay, Bob. But you have heard of Obnaxis.
Didn't he just mention Obnaxis? Or was that my imagination? Do you know someone called Obnaxis?
Abnaxus. Now, there's a name I haven't heard spoken in years. Where do you know it from?
I met him in a dream.
Sorry, I just overheard. Actually, I met Obnaxis recently. Well, I dreamed about Obnaxis. Or maybe it was more like a vision. This sounds crazy, I know, but...
Sounds completely sane to me, lass. Abnaxus turning up in visions. That's exactly the sort of fellow he was. Persistent, unpredictable, and not a little annoying. I met him when he was the Venar ambassador to Ireed. This was before the gutters, when I was still a dapper chap on the Mercurian party circuit. We hit it off, especially seeing as I was going blind, theoretically, and he saw everything, past, present, and future. Years later, as he was leaving town, he entrusted me with the key to his home.
Well.
Said to take care of it. I'd sleep there from time to time. Very uncomfortable bunk. Musty smell of ancient books and foreign weeds. I didn't much care for it, to be honest.
So, about that key.
I'm sure he said key. And where there's a key... You said something about a key to Obnaxis' house?
They called it the abode back then. Abnaxis' abode. Primitive accommodations, but luxurious location. Prime real estate. Central with a garden view. Very quiet at night.
And the key? Do you still have it? Sorry, this is really important.
Oh, I carry it with me every day. After all, it is a magic key. Figured it might do me lumbago some good.
What about this
Yeah.
house? I mean, the abode.
Also still there, and not hard to find. Sits right circle in the center of the city green. Abnaxus carved it out of a petrified tree with his own morbidly huge hands. A few years ago, the authorities turned it into an historical landmark. Of course, no one can get inside, on account of the Venar magic. Not without the key, at least.
This key, can I...
Oh, sure. Heavier than
That
it
easy,
looks,
huh?
ain't it? More powerful than iron, worth its weight in precious stones, and then some. This magic goes back to the first magic. None of that modern hocus pocus. You feel it in your fingers when you hold it. Tingles, don't it?
It does. Sorry, I know this is asking a lot, but can I...
Borrow it. Aye, why not? A stun the lumbago no good. And I don't have much use for the place, now that I've a proper bunk here. But keep it safe. Abnaxus left most of his belongings behind and entrusted me with their care. I'd hate to betray that trust.
Fair enough.
I promise.
Blind Bob, you have been amazingly helpful.
I'd love to chat, lassie, but I have duties to attend to. There are piss pots that need emptying, and people to command into doing it.
So, you know how to run the place. You're not going to do the work yourself. You're just going to be sure to tell other people to do it. I like it. All right. Well, let's take a look at the key. It's a pretty cool key.
The key to Abnaxus's abode. Scour! I don't know why Abnaxus would entrust a beggar with the key to his house, but he must have seen something in Bob that no one else did.
Well, he can see all the time, so he saw that Bob was gonna become the man he is now.
Abode. Scour!
And it all worked out. So, can we let Anu know?
Hey, I made progress. Blind Bob, the General, gave me the key to Abnaxus's house. I might find what I'm looking for there.
That's great! Oh, I wish I could come with you, but there's this whole furry thing I've got going on. It's a big no-no in the city these days.
Sorry about that. Humans can be real dicks sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Some humans, not most. You're a good human. What are these dicks you speak of?
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
That's not important. Thanks again for your help.
Are you leaving already? We just met, and you'll come back though, right?
I hope so.
Oh, okay. Because there's so much I want to talk about, and I'll let you go now. Thanks for talking to me, Zoe. I miss you already. Shut up now, Anu. Okay, thanks, bye!
All right. Yeah, I think it could be a good thing, Zoe, when this is all said and done. If you could come back and maybe find a place for yourself in Marcuria, you've got a good friend in Anu in the making. Although, there were things about her life in Propest that she liked. And she couldn't do the same job that she was doing there here, so I understand maybe if she's not interested in going back, but...
You spoke with the General. Did you find what you were looking for?
Found a good lead.
It's a step in the right direction.
Good. I've asked them to ready a boat for you. Whenever you're ready, it will take you into the city. I may not fully understand your role, Zoe, but there's something about you that... I've learned to have faith in the balance. The balance provides. The balance guides. It's guiding you now. You must let it take you wherever it leads, like a leaf on a river. Bend to its will.
All right.
I'll try.
May your gods favor your journey. You'll be in my thoughts and dreams.
Anything else
There's
to say?
a boat waiting for you in the cove downstairs. It'll bring you into Marcuria. Stay as long as you want. The boat is downstairs in the cove. When you're ready, it will take you to the city. May your gods favor your journey, Zoe, and protect you from strong winds, wildfire, and the eyes of our enemies. There's a boat waiting for you in the cove.
Well, down to the boat then. Oh, cannot look at these doors. Very well.
I hope it's not too far into town because, yeah, I've seen sturdier boats in bathtubs. Row, row, row your boat, because how else will that thing make it into the city?
Ooh, that's it. Does she have any experience rowing a boat? Is she gonna have to row, or is he gonna row? It seems really easy, right? And like you can look at a rowboat and figure out the mechanics of it, but actually rowing a rowboat is depending on the oars, it can be really hard on your hands. There is a park not too far from me where they rent out rowboats, and so some years back I went there with a friend of ours and my husband, and we were going fishing, and I tried rowing a bit, and the oars they're like old, they're a little bit cracked in some places, and it starts to hurt your hands really fast if you're not used to it. It's not like if you rent a canoe and paddle a canoe. The canoe paddles, I generally never have that kind of problem with. But the oars on the rowboat, oof, that was rough.
Shepard said to take you into town. Just get in that boat and we'll leave immediately.
Well, thank you. You're going to be the one doing the rowing then, I assume. And he's got gloves to protect his hands.
Now I need to find the city green.
And
I
Crow.
wish Crow
There he
was
is.
with me. I feel less alone with that silly bird around.
Oh, he's right there. Let's go say hi.
You're back! And your head's still on! Did you swim?
Swim? No, boat. I boated. I mean, they dropped me off in a boat.
Impressive. So, what's the next step on our grand adventure? Tea and biscuits? A hearty nap, perhaps?
Sounds lovely, but no.
I need to find the city green and the home of Abnaxus.
I visit the city green every day to clean my feathers in the fountain. Follow me.
Very well. I wonder if we can stop by and let him know that we're okay.
Closed. By a Sardi decree.
Oh no.
Strange. I do hope Ulvik's alright.
Well, we did see them take him for questioning, but I hoped that it wouldn't be terrible and that he would be quickly released.
It's locked. That's really odd. Right in the middle of a festival.
It is. I feel really bad because even if they do finish questioning him fairly quickly, he's lost a festival day. That's going to mean a lot of money. This is one of the busiest times of year for him.
I really
right?
wish you had wings.
So do I, Crow. I fit right in with the locals.
Everybody's out and about today, huh?
I like their style. Maybe I can introduce a line of Arcadia-influenced fashion when I get back.
Bit of dancing? Can we join in? No, we got more important things to do. This guy looks all serious on the side. Back to the wall, arms crossed. Enjoy the festival, buddy. Lighten up.
So, how's business?
Pretty good. I mean, reaping's a great time for me. Plenty of customers. Even if those farmers are tight-fisted, they bring
Okay,
their
we
own
heard
food
that
into the
conversation
city.
before.
They ought to do something about that.
I must admit that I'm getting... No, that makes no sense at all. I mean...
How's your memory coming along? Do you remember anything about this place now?
Taking place. Seeing as I spent most of my time trying to forget everything that happened, yeah, no, not much.
Oh,
It
so
was
if I've made
winter.
different choices, I could
True.
remember better, huh?
Winter changes everything. What with the snow and the ice and all.
And the city looked different. Smaller.
It probably has grown a bit.
But no, I don't really remember anything at all.
More efficient.
Perfectly fine. I also remember very little, but then I am a bird with a bird brain. So what can you expect?
You seem like you remember plenty, Crow. You certainly remember April and your adventures with her. You remember me from before. You remember just fine, buddy. Okay. Ooh. We can get up into these places. Is it worth exploring? Is there anything here? It's not where we need to be, but since we can access it...
You are not from here. You have the face of an outsider. Beware the Watchers. hide yourself from them.
Why?
You are human, but you aren't. There's magic in you, but you're not of magic. What anchors you to this realm? I wish I had time to read your paths, to decipher your past and future. But you need to be elsewhere. Every moment counts.
That kind of makes me feel like maybe I shouldn't be
You're bright
dilly-dallying.
with dreams. I envy you. If you don't go where you're needed, the sky will unravel and all that's done will be undone.
How does she know all
I'm
this?
sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please don't tell anyone I said that.
Okay, I
You're
won't.
not from here. You have the face of an outsider. Beware
You must
the
be from out of
Watchers.
town. Here for the
Hide
Festival of
yourself from
Reaping, then? You're early, but it gives you a chance to see the city. Mercuria's stunning this time of year. Shame about the magic ghetto. Old Town, I mean. I'd recommend a visit, but now it's, well, closed off. Burned down. There was some rioting, some unpleasantness. It's all very unfortunate. I don't know why the Magicals had to go and ruin things for everyone.
That's not what
Burning
happened.
buildings, throwing rocks, killing soldiers. They only have themselves to blame for being expatriated.
No, they were being expatriated before all that other stuff.
You're a tourist. You might want to visit the bench at night to see all of southwestern Mercuria and the bay. It's lovely, one of my favourite spots in the city. What's worth seeing in Mercuria? Well, the tower, of course. Although they've closed that off until the inauguration ceremony next week. That's when they officially open the tube network. Those tubes are impressive. Modern technology, eh? It's amazing what their engineers can do. I mean, no one knows what the tubes are for, but it's incredibly impressive.
How can it be that impressive if you don't know what its purpose even is?
You must be from out of town. Here for the Festival of Reaping, then? You're early.
Alright, we'll look around some. I am nervous, though, with her comments about how every minute counts. It might. Maybe there will be a punishment for just roaming around. Let's have a look at the bench. Oh,
Having fun sightseeing, Zoe?
yeah.
I'd be more excited if I wasn't already deathly bored with Mercuria. I want action. I want adventure. This isn't an adventure.
People look friendly enough, but I only see humans, no magicals. What happened to them? I fit right in with the locals.
Okay, so that's all just cycling through the same comments. Can we talk to these people? No? I really want to go in here. It's just set up so nicely, but nope. So I know, Crow, that this isn't what you want me to be doing, but we're just gonna take this loop around. Any observations to make, gentlemen? Alright. Do I want to go up here and all the way around? Maybe I might as well. Oh, I was up there before. This is where that guy gave the longest speech ever. Let's just take this cut through.
The National Front.
We heard
I'm
those
all for
ladies
it.
talking.
It's about bloody time we started.
Thought I saw something, but I did not. Anyway, this will work out. This will get us to where we need to go. I do actually know where it is. I know I'm generally terrible at directions, but his tower's pretty easy to find. Waiting for the puppet show,
Hello.
huh?
They know you're coming, you know. All of them.
Who?
They're waiting for you. It's been foretold.
I
saw you in my dreams. You were in the dark and you were scared and alone. If you don't give her what she wants, she will eat you up. She has eaten so many already.
You're kind of creeping me out, little girl.
If you make it through the dark and into the light, it will change you. You'll be someone else, and you'll never be you again. Not really.
That sounds kind of terrible.
I saw you at the very beginning and at the very end. You're supposed to be in both places. Anyway, that's what my dream said. It was probably just a dream. Nothing to worry about. You'll probably be fine. Safe journeys.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello.
You here for the fingerlings? They're not starting just yet, but it's a very popular show. You're better safe than sorry. Of course, I was a fan long before I got popular.
Oh.
The next performance begins at noon, so there's plenty of time. If you haven't seen the fingerlings yet, you absolutely have to. It's a finger-licking spectacle.
Finger looking good, huh? Is it some kind of fried chicken show?
Mr. Clax is the most talented finger puppeteer of all time. It's better even than Fingers Finnegan before he contracted leprosy.
Oh my.
I've been a fan since those first shows down in Shady Quay. There were only a few of us in the audience back then, and it was really raw and authentic. You here for the fingerlings? They're not starting just yet, but...
I feel I know nothing about you, Zoe. We haven't really had a chance to talk bird to bird.
Uh-huh.
Smooth.
Like, what sort of labor do you do back home? Mostly homemaking or,
That's very sexist, Crow.
I know. The girls always tell me I'm sexy. It makes me blush, but you can't see it on account of the feathers.
Not sexy, sexist.
Exactly.
I give up. But anyway, no, I don't do the homemaking. I'm learning about neural programming. It's a way to tell machines how to think and operate. I'll be a programmer when all of this is over. The world's saved, etc. I've kind of put the whole career thing on hold.
Women always do that. It's because they need to take care of the nest.
Not always. Oh, Crow. Can we talk to these people?
The city feels all wrong without magicals around. I barely see any Dolmari or Zid in the streets these days, and you can forget about the more exotic ones. They're long gone.
It's strange. I mean, I grew up here. To me, Mercuria was always a city of both humans and magicals. A city with a sorcerous soul.
Well said. That's exactly right. A sorcerer's soul. That's lost now.
But it didn't happen overnight. The Azardi have been here for 10 years. They've always condemned magic. It's been on the cards, isn't it? If we wanted to do something about it.
True. Well, I mean, there is the magical resistance.
Let's not talk about that in public. You never know who's listening. And I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. It's not like we condone terrorism.
Certainly not. So, what are you folks doing for the feast this year?
2 words. Decorative yams.
Classic.
Everybody is into the yams here. Alright, I think that's the conversation. Nice to see that there is citizenry who are upset with the direction the city's going. Alright, there's our tower right ahead.
What's going
what's
on
this?
Here? Isn't that... Are they trying to chop down Obnaxis's abode? Great. That's great.
Well, hopefully the Vinar magic is enough to stop that nonsense, but we're also going to have to deal with these guys.
So this is it. Abode of, big ugly thing what speaks funny?
Oh, don't be so rude. Obnaxis is fine.
And there's someone else here.
Apparently so.
Huh.
Well, what are we gonna do about this, Crow?
I feel better having Crow around, even though I'm not sure what he can do.
He can do all kinds of things.
A useless sidekick.
He
is
helped
better
us
than
out
no
a whole
sidekick.
lot, smoothing
I'm
things
not
over
saying
with
he's
the
useless.
resistance.
Good bird.
Okay, so
So what now?
I don't know.
we're gonna have to
Do you have any
distract them,
suggestions?
perhaps.
We kill them, bury their bodies, and then go about our lives as if nothing happened.
That's quite a suggestion.
That's disturbing.
I know, I'm dark.
I'm really not in the mood for killing today, or any day.
Fine, then you come up with something. I got nothing. I mean, aside from murdering, but you seem to be so against that all of a sudden. We could go get filthy drunk, forget about this whole saving the world business, and enjoy the Festival of Reaping like everyone else in this town.
We could, but it's not a good plan.
Any ideas? You're usually full of ideas. Just let the ideas happen, Zoe. I applaud your optimism, Zoe, but my brain's the size of a moist pea and it's currently preoccupied with lunch plans.
You underestimate yourself, Crow.
I got it. We'll just... Nope, it's gone now. The idea's left the nest. How about you? Anything?
Well, I'm interested in investigating things, but first I want to know what all you have to say.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Once this unholy tree's been knocked down, the electorate will take me seriously. They'll see I have the power to get things done. Maybe then I can stop licking the arses of the Azadi. Goddess this and goddess that. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, sucking up to their feminine deity. Give me a world without gods and goddesses, a world ruled by humans and true Northlanders. No magicals, no supernatural women folk, no superstitious invaders. A world by and for man, with the woman in her rightful place at home.
I don't see how he thinks this is going to work out for him, because if it's been designated as a landmark and he destroys it...
That's it. The home of Abnaxis. Now, I just need to find a way inside.
It seems like he would just upset people if he was successful in
I don't
destroying it.
understand how a man of Abnaxis's, girth could possibly fit inside that tiny house. That's where I need to go. But I'm not getting inside until those men are all gone.
Alright, it seems unwise to directly approach the men, but we might just end up doing that anyhow. Circle around the edges, and then... maybe we could throw apples at them.
Is that the best you can do? Oh, I'd take the axe myself if I can just moisturise my hands. This,
Yeah.
you know, this dry air, well, you understand.
Hey there, gentlemen. How's it going here?
I think I saw that man in town yesterday speaking to a small crowd. What's he doing? I think I saw that man in town yesterday speaking to a small crowd. What's he doing?
Ah, a member of the voting public. Honor Hilaris, Esquire, at your service, madam. But I'm sure I don't need to introduce myself to you, You've seen my face in print and in public appearances. You know me as an honourable and truthful fellow who stands with the common man.
I know who you are.
And woman. We shan't forget the common woman. Yes, yes. I'm, of course, running for Commissioner of City Watch, a position sorely and desperately in need of new blood. The Watch needs strength. It needs direction. It needs humanity. In other words, it needs me.
I have a feeling with Mercuria the way it is, whoever gets elected is going to be human, so you don't have a specific advantage in humanity. And as to everything else, yeah, I think they're better off without you, fella.
He's gunning for a political position with the City Watch. I wonder what his end game is. Let's see if I can get him talking about himself. He sounded more than happy to do so.
True.
It looks like they're trying to destroy Abnaxis' abode. He appears to be an Azadi supporter. I wonder how genuine it is.
Not that genuine from what we overheard. Alright, tell me about you.
It's Hilaris, right?
Oh no, Hilaris Esquire, licensed solicitor, and your candidate for Commissioner of City Watch.
It's an unusual name.
It's unique, certainly, but it's a Northlander name with deep roots in Marcurian society. My father, the esteemed Hubert Hilaris Esquire, served dutifully for many years on the council. He was respected, feared, and admired by all. Of course, that was before he was beguiled by that Dulmari witch. She used her wily sorcery and beastly sensuality to lure my father away from his family, away from us. I've sworn to restore our sacred heritage. The witches shall burn.
That's horrifying.
Humanity shall prevail. And the name Hilaris shall no longer be the butt of spiteful jests.
All right. So that's his motivations.
He appears to be an Azadi supporter. I wonder how genuine it is.
Well, it sounds more like he, given what we just learned about him, he likes that the Azadi don't like magicals, but he doesn't really care too much for the Azadi either.
I take it you're happy with the Azadi occupation?
No, I wouldn't call it an occupation, not anymore.
It's still an occupation.
The Azadi came to save us from the Tyrant invaders, and they stayed to protect us against all magicals. They're our benefactors, not our oppressors. But the Resistance has put us all at risk. Unless we re-establish human dominion over the Northlands, we'll be vulnerable when the Azadi eventually return to Azadir. For believe me, they will.
No, they won't.
Oh, they've promised as much. This is not their land, and this is why I run for office. To build a Mercuria by and for humans, one that can stand the test of time and stand up against occult invaders. We must invest in the future, and you can't spell future without owner Hilaris.
Sure you can.
He's gunning for a political position with the City Watch. I wonder what his end game is. You're running for City Watch?
Indeed, the Watch is in dire need of strong male leadership in this time of dark crisis.
Male?
As you well know, the current commissioner, a person of the female persuasion, has failed to maintain order in the city in these dark, trying times. She's been soft on sorcery, magnanimous with magicals. She's indulged the occult, and she's extended an open hand to non-humans, acting in discord with our foreign benefactors. Oh, it's understandable she's weak. She's sentimental. She's merely a woman, and she's not been able to properly inspire the men of the Watch to take appropriate action against our occult immigrants.
Huh.
As soon as I'm elected, this will change. We will honor Azadi law and make Mercuria pure again. No more magic, no more magicals. And our women folk can once again return to home and hearth to be pampered and protected by their husbands, fathers and brothers. As it should be, yes, yes.
Do you have any womenfolk yourself? No, there's probably... I was gonna say something mean about he seems like the type of guy who would have a hard time attracting women, but there might be... We've seen that there are some people who are also anti-magical. There might be some women who agree with him. He may have found one
It looks
such.
like they're trying to destroy Abnaxis's abode. Why are you trying to knock down this tree?
Oh, it's not just a tree. It's an affront to common decency and humanity.
How so?
This so-called domicile was the dark and dangerous den of one of the most militant of magicals. An abominable beast that threatened our young and our women by its mere existence. Eradicating this occult stone tree from our historic green is not just my election promise to voters, but my God's-given responsibility as a human being.
I've had enough. Well, best of luck with everything.
Luck is the lazy man's excuse for failure. Luck is an occult idea. I create my own destiny, young madam, and so should you.
All right, I will
Here's
do so.
my advice to you. Find yourself a decent human husband and start breeding decent human babies. This is how you can best contribute to our common manifest destiny. And remember, a vote for honor is a vote for humanity.
All right.
What are you doing? Don't force me to take over and embarrass you in front of everyone.
How
It's
are
a
we going to
tree,
ruin this
goddammit,
guy's
Not a
day?
necromancer's stone fortress.
Well, I talked to him, Crow. Ooh, I could send him over to do something.
We could go get filthy drunk.
No,
Forget
that's not
about
going
this
to do.
whole
We got to
saving the
figure
world
out something
business
else to do.
That's it. The home of Abnaxis. Now, I just need to find a way inside.
Let's see. So I feel like probably we're gonna want... Oh.
Ugh.
Crow's help.
That is just a big, nasty nope. I don't care if it looks pretty. It's a giant insect. Ugh. Nope.
What? It's just a moth. But... Okay, Crow can't do anything with those. He could mess with this wagon, which I failed to notice much of before. So, what's she got to say about the wagon? Anything? No. I don't know what he's gonna do with the wagon, but we might as well try it. Let's see what happens.
Crow, could you fly over there for me?
Why?
I'm not sure
Just
yet.
Trust me.
Why?
Jesus, please, Crow.
Fine. Pardon me for wanting to play a role in my own destiny. I'll do it.
I wish I had wings. I could just fly to the Purple Mountains. After I get some proper directions.
Okay, well, that wasn't particularly
Is that the
useful.
best you can do? Oh, I'd take the axe myself if I hadn't just moisturised my hands. This, this dry air, well, you understand.
Alright, so we can comment on the moths. We can send Crow to a wagon. Oh, and that is my kid home from school, so I think we'll go ahead and end things here. And when we come back next time, we'll set about solving this puzzle.